is starting now.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to the Orion Effect right here on the RNN, the R.I.F.T Nation Network. I'm the Hitman.
And I'm Rhonda. How are you?
Everybody's like, pause. Wait a
Well,
minute.
because it's funny, there was a slight delay. There's a slight delay for you. So I'm like, is he done?
I thought I was thinking the same thing. I'm Katrina. Hello, everybody.
That way, Katrina Cooper in the house. Straight Talk Katrina tonight. We have brought her in right now. No waiting, no going, let's chat a minute, because we have a lot of chatting to do for all of us. Oh, look. Oh, you just changed your camera. I like it.
Okay, I was trying to see you guys better because I was on a tiny one. This is really well, I don't know what we're gonna do, but straight talk. So I don't even know what the topic's gonna be. That's pretty cool.
I think that's the cool part is we don't even know what the topic will be, but whatever comes to hand, and this is all about talking with you. So there's a lot of going on right now. There's a lot of energy shift. A lot of people worried about yesterday and today. How do you feel about that one? Let's kick that off with that.
I'm oblivious to what happened yesterday other than my own self. I'm just right now my sons are in the army, so the weekend I'm literally just spending time with them, and my oldest is taken off to the border literally in the morning, and I have one that is graduating from combat medic. So I have to excuse me. I am oblivious to what you're stating. That's embarrassing.
No, don't be
Don't
embarrassed.
be embarrassed because I don't know what he's talking about either. So what?
Oh, good.
We'll
Yay.
understand Howie. Then we
Yeah.
can weigh in.
Yeah, well, can't blame me for this one on this one. Actually, Edgar Casey had predicted something was going to start, or the beginning started yesterday, and then today, some form of big energy shift that would lead us into October 4th, which is intriguing to me. And a lot of spiritual groups, a lot of spiritual people were talking about it. A lot of us were saying it's just an energy shift leading us into whatever's coming in October 4th. And then we were going to jump into that. But I want to say hello to everybody. Rhonda, my goodness.
Hi, Sandra. I just saw
Yeah,
something pop
so
up.
we got Chandra and Keith Galliano. I think I'm saying that correctly. And
Hello.
we got Ariana Cherry has joined us. Ariana Cherry.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a name.
Raven Swanbeck is with us.
Mama Raven. Yes.
Yes.
And we want to welcome all of you. Thank you for taking your time to be with us tonight and enjoying this next hour of intriguing conversation with this magnificent lady right here. Right here.
You're putting too much on this. You guys might want to check out the replay. I'm just playing. We can't have a talk without them, right? That would be basically it. I would have to agree with the shift. And I'm, my birthday's on the 3rd. I identify with threes. My sons were born 3 years, 3 months, 3 days from each other. I know that's crazy. Yeah, that is a wow. And green's my favorite color, and May and August is their birthday, so I was pretty blessed. I've been having crazy energy, and until you can identify where it's coming from, which means that you have to play the elimination game, and that's your tools of tuning into spirit, tuning into the other side, paranormal, metaphysics. They all fall in the same category as far as I'm concerned, but they just got different names to them, and it's just been pounding down on me. So I'm pretty sure others, I've been trying to figure out where it's been. I mean, I just started crying coming into a neighborhood. So I was thinking maybe it was someone I know. And I did just get a message from a friend of mine that their granddaughter had a ruptured appendix, and it's been like 48 hours. Yeah. So that could have also been, what you need to do is you learn it. And I always start with the closest people around me. And it's really a part of elimination. And my screen was about to turn off. Another part is you play investigation. You play as an investigator. You have to make sure that your source that you're getting it from is important. So trust your being, trust what your insights are telling you. You know that, both of you on Rhonda, and you just got to trust it. And once you start doing that, things are easier for everyone that you know, not for yourself though, because that still comes in the line of, who is it? Where's it go? And you're the last person that's on that list. At least mine is. Yeah, so it's still a learning game, and we are all learning it. But I love this energy. I don't know all of his predictions, but I think many people, even that weren't even interested in the paranormal, are stopping with the what ifs. I think we're getting a little bit more from that side, being inquisitive, and just asking questions begins the whole process. The more you know, right? And the more you know that that's not right. So you start digging a little bit more to find out what the real truth is. So I say just go any direction that pulls you. Keith, it says very good production. Oh, I would say that I'm not, but thank you. But look at, just like whatever is Keith's expertise, that can be brought into all different aspects. So everyone is significant.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I absolutely agree with you on that one. And I saw that they talk about rapture too, so it might have been a verse or something that was felt or seen or read in the Bible or a biblical script. I'm not sure about the rapture. I know a lot of people were worried about it. I think when we as a society, and what do you two think about this? When we as a society start to really home in on something, we have the ability to manifest that issue. I mean,
Energy.
it's good, but yeah, we manifest bad
We're
too.
we're transmitting right now in different locations almost spontaneously, and we probably got that from aliens. But we could talk about that on another level. But it's technology. It's how it's done. If it can be done this way, it can be done that way. And I believe that energy, communicating, and I like the way this person there said, "Is it a good thing?" I think all changes, regardless of what is being cleaned out, I think that at the long run, there's always a positive in every shift. And that's, you just got to go with it. Sometimes I don't, and I fight it, but and my own life has been hit with really extremes because I won't pay attention to it. It's mine. I'm doing something. So they know to do it pretty hard. And it's always been kicking and screaming, but being thankful afterwards, because you can step back, have that fresh eye, and notice that change, that shift in energy is all for good.
You brought something up and you were talking about getting rid of stuff. Maybe this is a perfect opportunity for a lot of people to flush their cosmic toilet.
Yeah, I think that should be done daily. I mean, that's exactly metaphorically and physical. Yes,
You like
do
that,
it, please. Don't save water, flush. um, but I teach especially my youngest that's going to be graduating medic. I was really worried about him going into it because he's a very solitude person.
Okay.
And as in very connected to Mother Nature, and he's an extreme empath. They're my sons, and they're still learning their tools. And everyone has to find which one works best for them. You can be an artist, but there's several mediums that you can work with. And going through each one is when you're going to find them. And I urge anyone that's in or dabbling, try a little bit of different things. I have to give him tools every day. He'll give me a call. Well, not every day. That's too much. Once a week, because he gets anxiety. He wants to do the best that he can, but he's also getting it on top of the rest that's around him.
Right.
So the first tool is that I'm not getting rid of yours. Right? Let's get rid of the rest of them. Let's block your surroundings, because trust me, they have it too. Not to mention suicide, and he happens to be living in one that just had a suicide, and he came forward to talk to my son. It was amazing because he had empathy for when he was told what had happened, and having validation from his mom, of course, because I see him. And that was a really nice, you'd be surprised. You don't even have to know a spirit on the other side, and to have empathy or to understand happiness, something that they're, you can have a friend, or you can pick up an enemy. I don't always want to say anything about, like demons or stuff. I haven't come across that, but I do know that if you have a hitchhiker, your emotion that most likely matched theirs compounds. And a lot of times that's depression. A lot of times that's in the wrong state, but it can also be in happiness and extreme. So learning how to take on only yours is the biggest, I think, lesson to accomplish and be effective. And not each one. So you got to have a couple in your toolbox. Not each one is going to exist. So I know that this is about others wanting to further or to enhance or get deeper in. And I'm hoping that these might help them too, because I think that's what I do to my sons. And if I'm going to give it to them, trust me, I think it'll help you too. I wouldn't lead you wrong, but it's important.
I agree.
It's important.
And not to take away from Edgar Cayce, and I know you kind of mentioned that some of his predictions leading to this October 4th date what has a lot of people in arms. I mean, a lot of us have read and studied Edgar Casey, and not to take away from anything that he did in his life, but since he made these predictions, there's been a lot of free will. There's been a lot of different things that could have changed that. You know, anybody who does psychic things or mediumship knows that, you know, the information is only as good as somebody's free will. You know what I mean?
You know, that's a valid point, Rhonda. I would say this: if we know the predictions, if we read it, that means we have the opportunity to change the outcome by choice. Again, we can manifest that. How do y'all feel about that point?
Can I also put another variable, because it gets a little crazy when you go down the vote? You also got to put in the variable of who is reading, who is interpreting said words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
absolutely.
I think that's a really important thing too that needs to be thrown into the loop. And unfortunately, you can't even open up, and I'm sorry if anyone gets offended, our history books. I mean, left and right, we're getting stuff that's being shown was hidden, misled, or tried to rip away. And that includes our Mayans, that includes the pyramids. Things were trying to be hidden for a reason, and I think we need to start accepting, I want to make sure, the evidence and put everything in line. And that's going to put the church and many people at an angry state, I think, at first, because, you know, humans, in the most part, do not like change. And that might be that shift in energy that's important for us to grow as humans. I think.
I'm gonna make us look a little. There we go. Make us look a little bit more presentable.
I like that. Thanks. Felt a little weird looking at my belly.
No,
Tickle.
but I agree with you, Katrina, because then you throw in too just interpretation. If you look at the writings of a lot of these people that made predictions, you know, years and years and years ago, Edgar Casey, I mean, Howie, you've read him, his case studies and things like that. They didn't talk like we did. Their verbiage was very different. So for us to try to understand what they were saying,
Romeo and Juliet, I still can't get that. All I know is there's two lovers and they died. Get the dialogue. I'm still that ignorant, and I'm like, why?
Now, these are valid points, you guys. These are very valid points. You're bringing it up, because it's same thing on the biblical side, on the religious side, on the spiritual side. There's spiritual scriptures from all over the world from different times. There is Egyptian scriptures. There's Judean scriptures. Modern society, 200, 300 years ago, pull back, transcribe. We transcribed what the Judeans were saying into our own Bible. So we were just trying to interpret what they were saying. So really it's coming down to, you know, hey, what am I reading? Am I reading it proper comparatively to what was written or said at the time? And was it what that person was meaning to say?
Now, see, I was watching, I go to bed listening to Ancient Aliens. And of course, you know, you got to listen to it. But there was some kind of scripture or scrolls that were found that had like 4 or 5 different, I'm going to say language in there. And, you know, but if we go by our, you know, history is stating, they're saying that these were not at the same time, you know, because you got your Sumerians and stuff, but yet here they are in scrolls that you just found, and you're still going to deny a piece of evidence that should make you go, let's go a little bit further, not just wipe it away. And that's what even in the paranormal world, I think that, you know, I have some things that have to do with orbs, and I know that they are so controversial. But if I ask an orb to go to a certain place in my video and it does, I think you should go, not once, not twice. I even had one, a strobe light. all in the same video, and I got a lot of hate mail about it. But my thing is that you're not a true investigator or a true scientist, because I feel like my blood starts with that. I tear my own up. You need to be unbiased if we're in this for the right reasons.
Right.
Everything is plausible, and where it comes from is super important. So pay attention to that too.
Yes.
And your feelings of what you capture. You don't even have to capture something. I think that I tell my people, write down what their body reacted or how they were feeling, their emotions. All these are valid and need to be, um, put into the pot.
Hmm. I agree. I totally agree. And from here, if this is from Sandra, and the translations aren't exact either, and they text were scribed over and over. Texts were changed by scribes who didn't like what was being said. Now, see, that's another valid
Right.
point right there.
That's right. The Bible. So sorry, guys. The Bible. And I'm not saying that there isn't spiritual. I'm not saying that there isn't a maker, but the Bible, all of the things that I was scared of or was told, I've seen it firsthand that they're not, and your people are not lying to you. They're doing it in a great way, and so I have to question that. See, that's a part of fact that I need. I didn't wipe it out, but I'm finding more and more that it was the first horror book. It was written. It was designed to put order to some type of chaos. It was just like children hearing about boogeyman. It was a way to either calm them down a little bit to make it not as scary, or just keep them away from the dark so they aren't getting hurt. It's really sad. So hopefully that's what I love about my forever friends, and they're very solid. They get information that like I just had a sold out show, and the moment that the girl left, and they came from Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. I was very loved, and I love my forever friends. She called me, said she contacted her mom, and sure enough, when she was 3 years old, they had a best friend that she called an aunt. And the message from there is her personal, I can't remember, but the key is there are little things that no one else would know. And I have a counteract for the church, because I've had my own questions with it. If it is the evil lying to me to cause chaos, because that's what it does, I have 10 years that I've been helping. As far as I can see, I don't have a bad thing out there with my name on it, because I try to stay honest and true.
Mhm.
And if they know that nobody else would know that. So no one else would know other than their loved one. And there's simple words, simple things. A candy dish, whatever it may be, and it's in my hand, and it's a little crack, and she didn't even know she had crack in it. Now, how do you explain that? I'm one of the girls are here. She's in my tribe. She was on the fence, but now there's something that makes you question. And that's what I want the rest of the world to do, is just question your surroundings. And I'm not saying to go out and kill yourself because you're going to go to this special place. Well, guess what? You do. I can't stop you if you what your decisions are. Nobody can. That's the person, that's your soul's choices. But to know that you're not going to go in the fiery of hell. So I don't take responsibility on another person's reactions. I only take responsibility of giving you the best way I interpret it, spirit, and bridging it to you. And then you like it or not. That's how I interpret it. And you're not going to hell. Haven't seen it.
Absolutely. I just want to recognize the people who are joining us, a few of our friends and the travelers. Thank you for joining us. If you're a Facebook user, hello. We can't see who you are, but you may be in the travelers page. For some reason, we're having issues with connections in the travelers page, but hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. No, I
Yes.
totally agree with you. I mean, if we go back and look, and I don't want to go too far down this hole, but hey, if it's the subject, let's dive down, take some rope. Let's
There
do
you
it
go.
and let's dribble down.
It's called edibles. We open the door. Here we go.
That's why. Hey Danielle, I think the other thing is I don't think that we follow exactly what Jesus said. Okay, it's what the book said. Now we got to remember something about the book and Christianity and Muslim. These are both very similar. Back in the day, even only up to 100 years ago, women were controlled by the men. It was a male dominant society. It's changing. It's been changing. So where is the change? We're seeing that. So you've got to look at the dynamics of society.
We always dominated Hat Man. We always did. It's just the men didn't give us credit yet. That's all.
No, you're right. No,
Yes,
true fact.
it
Throughout
is.
the world, the women were the leaders of the tribes. This is
They're
evidence.
the leaders of the household. And even though it's not shown or they were quiet outside, us women had control over, I mean, trust me, it leads them there. And I just think that, look at Yentl. I mean, there was a perfect example of a woman that was working, had to pretend to be in the man's side, could do it, but she was doing it all along with her dad. Um, I, I just think that women were doing it all along. I just wanted to correct you on the lines of now we're just getting out there doing so. I think that we've always been behind the lines rulers.
I'll go with you.
I'm
see your
sorry,
point.
I just do.
No,
And I'm not a little chauvinist. I'm not. I swear I'm not.
You're not at all. I was just going, I just wanted to see that point and going, but yeah. I mean, there have been great leaders that were men and women. The women have always been there. Caesar's always had a woman or a man. Sorry, just being honest.
That's true. That's right. Correct.
Mayans, even the Sumerians, the women. It's true. Look at all the majority of our national capitals.
There's a little talk about, and there's a little talk about Jesus may have been in a relationship with some. So, I mean, nobody knows. Who cares? That's my key. It doesn't have anything to do with who you are. It's who influences you. And I feel like behind every man there is a woman that is influencing him in whatever it may be, whether it's or his thought of what he's going to do to rule. And same with our presidents. Oh, poor. Please do not bring up Clinton's one. We do not need her there. That's not the one I'm fighting for right now.
Right.
I'm just stating that I think that our voices are being heard now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I overtalked you.
Nope, you were perfectly fine. All I did was flush the toilet. Air travelers understand what it is. Someone needed.
Okay. I got it. I've been having a lot of those around too, so pretty soon. But I think that it's an equal. It's just that now we're being more. Our children are coming out with less. And look at, they're breaking it down into all different things, but they're being more conscious of what's being taught to them. Maybe people find that to be rebellious, but I think that our youngsters are wanting to have the real answers. And maybe that's why it seems like they're more liberal and more women are coming out and more artists. And I think we're human. Let's stop putting male or female in there. Let's just put human, because I'm super great with budgeting. And I swear if I was to take over our budget of the United States, we would not have frivolous spending. I just know. Just put me there. I know it. I can do it.
I don't think it was enough. Just may notice what we have right now.
I agree.
what I was getting ready to say earlier before the trolls dropped in was, if you look across the United States to every state capital, there is a woman, the goddess of fraternity, on the top of every Capitol building.
Yep, that's right. I like it.
Ryan?
I just think we just need to be heard. That's all on the
Yeah.
outside.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think there's, they were just there, behind every, man is a strong woman, happy wife,
That's
happy life,
right.
all of those things. But there's also a lot to the term pillow talk outside of just women and men sharing
Exactly. That's
secrets about each
exactly
other's
right.
brains and things. It's a lot of that pillow talk is their way of planning their takeover of the world or whatever that may be. So
I would think every smart decision has had a pillow talk the night before. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
I concur. I totally agree with you there. I think that and I think that's throughout time. That's not just in
That was my point.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
It
was
just
exactly
kind of
my
kept
point.
quiet, women weren't so, they were okay to just say, yeah, that was my idea, you take it. And
Well, and you know that the guys were, it would be embarrassing to have the other way, and but you guys ruled it, and shame on the men. But meanwhile, you're starting to realize, let us in there, and I think that even in a partnership. Like, I'm great at dealing. I used to sell cars. I know what they're going to put in there. It should not be embarrassing for me to step in, not my boyfriend or whoever my significant other may be, because of. And that was the first mistake that the salesperson did, is he went right past me and went and talked to the male that was with me.
Yeah.
And all hell broke loose. That's all I could tell you. But my key here is that don't judge just because, and also don't come into a relationship or the people that you're with those gender who is best at it.
Expectations. Yeah.
Do it together.
Word.
I think that would make things so much easier in every relationship, your friendship, your parents, your siblings. Why not?
Yeah, you're right. And Chandra's exactly right. We work as a team.
That's right.
When you work as a team, you can get a lot more accomplished than an individual because you have more than just one perspective. So you can have
Hence,
that.
world, we need to come together as a human species. So what is it going to take? It's going to take us to be in fear, probably aliens. The only reason we're saying that is because they're not from this world. So anybody can put that. It's interdimensionals. I believe all of those fall into the same lines. Why not? So shift in energy is going to be good. We got back to the subject again. I did it.
It's okay. That's how we do it. We're like a circle. It's a circle.
that's right.
I always call it a circle.
Of life. So you like that? That's pretty good. Huh?
I do too.
Yeah. So, and no, it's a valid point. Again, we can look through history and see a magnificent amounts of work. Okay, that's on both sides. Doesn't matter. Some of the greatest creations, if you will, on paper, didn't matter the sex. It was actually benefiting, directed at society itself. It didn't even look at this. Look at, okay, I can't say that. I almost ate some crow on that one. I was going to look at the Japanese culture, and I went, yeah, you might want to stop that. Because, even the Book of Tao, there is a little bit of definite dominant masculinity to it, but it's an equal book. So it's for all. It's much like what I've spoke about on the show before is, if you can see this, then you may want it. But if you don't see it, you don't know it's there. So you don't want something that you can't see.
That's right.
In Tao. So, even throughout all of our cultures, throughout time. And I think it's interesting, which is leading us back to energy again. So I had a lot of people,
Energy doesn't die.
and it doesn't lie.
That's right.
Oh,
I like that. We'll have to put that out there.
gotta write that down. Got a T-shirt to
I
make.
heard, I did. I heard of a saying that I've never done it before, but it says someday isn't one of the days of the week, and I really liked that a whole lot. It resonated with me so much. You know, you pass 50 and it's flying, and you're like, no, someday can't be there anymore. You need to pick a day, and same with what you're saying. You need to find a good motto, and that was a good one.
Well, that's how I don't know if it's a motto, catchphrase. I don't know. Maybe it's a belief, but that's where virtue, comes from. May virtue be yours. It is an Asian saying, but if you pay attention to it, it's very direct and dominant. You're getting somebody's to rise with that comment. That's
It goes with the yin and yang. See, I'm very ignorant to all of these things, but I do believe in, and going back to energy and being a scientist, you can't have too much of a positive without a negative. They're always going to equal out, or you're going to have a bang. So it's just they go hand in hand, don't you think? I think they
oh,
go hand in hand, and that includes little wormholes I love calling them energy pockets. They're natural. They're being used. They can be manipulated, and it doesn't take a special person to find them. I guess it's just knowing how to turn the right
say that again.
station.
Say that again.
Uh, it's hard for me to repeat shit that I say. Oops, sorry. Um, what I say is that I believe that all of this is intertwined. It doesn't matter whatsoever where it's a natural phenomenon of Earth, and their energy pockets, and we are all existing all at the same time. And I think anyone can get it. We just got to know which station to get on, and that goes back to what I was stating. I know that spiritual talking to them, but I mean, I'm still trying to understand what it means. It goes back to the candy dish, the girl that's there, Karen. This is her favorite piece. It's in put tucked away, taken care of with great care, and it means very much to her. But for me to have it in my hand, 15, 1600 miles away, spontaneously touching it, and can feel something that she didn't even know. This is what I've been working on. Because I've been to the pyramids. I had sand in my hand. What is that? Am I pulling away from my physical body, or and another point is that I used to think that if you do a remote view, but how are you physically feeling that? I'm physically feeling it, and I had somebody see me, which was very startling. I thought I was in stealth mode, and that kind of thing. So these are things that I'm working on currently. So if anyone understands that, and I do it all the time, um, I'm not quite sure. It's natural that my body's doing it, but I sure like to put a name to it. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, and then because I got something else. Because one of the things you just said is you don't have to be special to find something, and you're
Right.
exactly right. That's what I want to stress: is you don't have to have a special ability to find what you're looking for, or
That's right.
to help. You don't. You don't.
So true.
Um, Self-projection. A lot of people have to go into a meditation state, or usually they're in sleep state. And I'm going to point this at both of you guys, not just, one or the other, because this is something that's popped up in my head just here as I was late. Can we, or are we at times, due to frequency and ohms, let's get scientific, shall we? Oh, wait, I got to do it. You guys, hold on. I know I'm just in that humorous state of mind, and I know how my thing is working. So I've got to do something just for the sake of, because it's just too funny. Mekaleka high, mekahani ho. Mekaleka high, mekahani ho. So we say, Pee Wee. I guess I'm just too old for that one. Anyway, so here's my point: is maybe we're self-projecting conscious while we're even say we get frustrated or we're hyper focusing on a subject. Well, it makes me wonder through dimensional work, et cetera, if we are self-projecting our image and our energy somewhere else as well at the same time. Maybe it's not exactly the fact of that's your doppelganger. Maybe it's still you in a self-projection.
Now, I would say that's plausible. However, it would be, I mean, I was doing this on I think it was either private or it was spontaneous. So I would say that's plausible, but I'm thinking it's more like string theory, where everything is happening at the exact same time. And maybe somehow I've found a key. Remember, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I don't know that I'm blinking either, but my body's doing it. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I think that I'm wondering, that's where I want to put in. I want to put that hypothesis, the string theory of everything happening together, and maybe I'm able to pull or fold over at the same time.
Oh,
Because she had to pull it out of her special cabinet to literally go around the inside of the lid, like I told her, with a fingernail, and she found the crack. So I just find it interesting. These are things that makes you go, and I think that's why we're here talking. Like and it's about natural energy. You know, I'm on the same planet as you guys, and you know, I'm not saying, hey, I got to do this to get there. It's just happening, and I think it is pretty cool. But I still would like to know why, and I think it ties into all what we're all looking for.
Yeah.
I like the way Keith had time and space bending. I think we have the ability to bend it. I do. I think the
Me
master,
too.
the first ascended. I think many have the ability. So I've said it before. Sometimes sci-fi dictates the future. However, we are looking at it, and if we can project ourselves, then that's time travel.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out, and like I said, I like to put a name to it, and it happens. And yeah, we all know about aerial projection and remote viewing, but I think that those things of just in my last event, I had the necklace in my hand. I had the vial that had and I could tell them the shape. I can't tell you that the next time I have a reading with you that you're going to get that same connection.
Right.
Make that so clear. It's not because my body's not receptive to it, but your loved one may not use that type of connection with me. I need that so clear, because I can speak to animals and they don't have a dialect. At least we don't have one with them in rapport. So just remember that what you get from one person, it's not that you can't do it. It also takes who you're talking with and who you're helping with. But
That's a valid point. That's a very valid point. That's something I never thought about. And Rhonda, holy crap, it's something I think you and I have actually talked about. As you can get a reading from one person, a reading from another person could be completely different readings, but maybe that is based on frequency and transcendent of the planes and where the message is coming from and our energy frequency. Wow.
and how, like, for one thing, a person doesn't want to spell things out to me. I won't be able to understand that, but for me to be able to identify an era, I find that it's clothes or music that will help me guess or pinpoint what time frame that we're working on, because let's face it, um they don't have much energy to be explaining to me why I'm supposed to say it. So that's why I just blurt out what it is. But that helps you to be that investigator So you don't have to read a book to figure out how to communicate. You'll start your own dialect, which works best for you, and they'll learn it for you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me pose one more question because y'all just got my chemistry is just going, hey, how you doing? Let's a pop it out there. So let me aim this. I'm gonna go ahead Rhonda first with this, and I'll come to you, Katrina.
Yes, I
Is
told you that.
is huh? Is in the psychic mediumship, could it be that how are we I'm trying to phrase this proper, if you will,
Hard, right?
the conscious collective. Is it the communicative connection to the conscious collective, or is it something different?
I think they're both. Oh, I talked before. There you go,
No,
Rhonda. I said
well, I'm
I
glad
talked
you
too
spoke
much.
because I was having to like kind of think on that one. Because usually when I think of the conscious collective, I'm thinking of us like the test that I've been in where somebody said, okay, let's all think the same thing and see if it comes through an EVP. Like we're all, that's the conscious collective that I've seen. But I think it has to be both, right? Or it would have to be both.
I was interpreting conscious collective as communicating with more than one to give future aspects. Is the way I was interpreting the question, and the other one was an individual, which basically is what I feed and pay my bills on by speaking to one. Now, I can tell you, friends that I make here on this earth, their loved ones have also stepped in for me, and I put an APB to keep my boys from being in the army. I mean, fighting, going overseas. So we'll see if that works. But it works both ways, and I think she's correct. I didn't even think of it in that. See, it's the interpreter. What happened? Energy.
Yep.
There she is.
I don't know what happened. That was weird.
We said the same thing.
Talking about consciousness and spirit, and here we go.
We've lost you
Yeah.
twice tonight. This is I'm good thing I'm not at the cabin tonight, evidently. Who knows? That'd have been weird. Because the cabin was off the hook last Sunday. Well, I mean, these are all valid points, and
Do you really think you're leaving the cabin back there? I mean, come on. Come on, Howie. I mean, Ronnie, right? He brings few of them with you. You don't have to worry about going visiting back to 316 cabin. They follow you.
I have companions now.
Yes, you do.
I have a lot of good companions
You
now.
have 3 behind you right now, and one keeps changing your hats back and forth. I feel like it's like a grandfather of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to turn in. I'm shutting up.
That's what we're doing. First off, I'm going to say, hey, Keith, sorry I'm late. The show I ran over. No problem, but welcome, and I'm glad you're here. Okay, now I'm curious. You've got my attention and my sympathy. What do you mean my hat? Come on, talk to me.
No, all of your hats, starting from since you've been young. He's sharing with me those hats, and he's going through them comically. So he is a guy of that half full, not half empty guy. So he's very, very sweet. And to me, I can't see you. You got a very tiny little and live, and how long we've been is right in front of you. But you got the same eyes as your grandfather. So that's what I was told.
Yes. I concur.
And I feel like you guys would wear the same hat, or he gave you your first hat. But I do know that your hat has something to do with Grandpa.
Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, see, and this is why Kenny and I needed. Where is Robert? Robert's not here.
Where is Robert tonight?
Robert! Ring a ding ding. Get your psychic butt here. That is a good question. I never met my grandfather on my father's side.
I was
However,
going to say, Dad, I hope everybody could see. I was doing, but I talked too much. Yeah, it's dad's side. But
However,
that's the best part because you're going to get confirmation of how young that you got your first hat and he's been with you all along.
and that kind of makes sense because I've been embracing those lineages too. If you want to see someone who looks like my grandfather, you can look at Keith Ottersberg.
Well,
Um,
you got the eyes. That's what I said. I
yeah,
said the eyes.
so I would agree with that.
And you got a picture that you with you and your brother, and I believe both of you have a baseball hat on. It's almost like I see blue in the front and the back is white. And it seems like it's turned backwards. So did you guys play ball or shoot marbles or something? I just see that intensity of the hat in the back. I hope that makes some sense. You guys are
No,
young.
no, I wasn't a big hat wearer until I actually went into the military. Went to the military academy. Oh,
That's okay. We need to get to that. Me and with this hat doesn't mean you had it on all the time, but did you play a sport or something that had an old, this is going back like 70s, 60s, 70s, right? I don't know. I'm not calling you out, am I?
oh
Your
no.
age? I don't know how old you
No,
are,
no, I
Howie.
don't care.
Uh,
You
so
know,
I'm going to say adolescent time, okay?
yeah.
So that's it. And I think there's a picture of you guys.
Hmm.
And it does. And can I be also go a little further?
No,
I don't. Okay.
no, go ahead. You know I'm playing.
It looks like not all the pictures were like some tragedy happened to the family photos, and the picture that I'm seeing is that it looks like you're in like a field of some kind. It's not in like it's not in the city. It's out in a country with one big tree in the middle. That doesn't have no leaves on it. So talk to somebody in the family. I just believe that picture did happen and he was there. What's that mean?
Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you.
It was the late 70s and it was in southwest or let me know. Hold on. Newsome's County, which is Southampton County, Carson's Newsome area. And my aunt used to have a farm out there when we were little. We could go out there. There was a big oak tree with a pool beside it right in front of the barn. Yes.
I'm just telling you, Grandpa was there with you guys during that those moments, and I don't know. You notice that I did say if you weren't playing ball, that it might have been marbles. It's because it just looks like intense and cartoonish kind of thing. So I just threw both of those in there. But you must be feeling like, where am I going? A little bit on your plate, and maybe um, uh, feeling a little down on yourself, Howie. And please know that we're our biggest critics. But because Grandpa's coming in and letting you know that he's been with you, and I love that you said, "See, guys, that's what I do. I love it. It's the ones you never met." And he has that same feeling. He's the one that's been getting you over your hurdles. And to be perfectly honest, you've fallen down quite often. How'd you get back up? By yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your determination, your grandfather's blood. That's what he's saying. So just stand tall. Don't feel bad that maybe you didn't make a deadline or you were hoping that something had come together. I just feel like some of those pieces didn't make it, and don't get upset. They were outside of your control, and you just truck forward.
Absolutely right.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome.
I'm not going to deny any of that. I mean, it doesn't bother me because it's already been in my train of thought this last couple of weeks of going. People can see it. People know. I've said it. It's about trenches. It doesn't matter how many times you go down. It matters how many times you get back up. And I've had some downfalls without a shadow of a doubt while I sit here, and I will not say I have not. But I'm not hardly.
I think you have slipped in literally poo-poo on that farm because your grandfather just showed me something super funny. And I don't feel like you fell down, but you definitely did some
Hold on,
sliding.
hold on.
I love it. I
I
love it.
wish Robert was here right now. Yes, we got into a lot of trouble for playing in the pig pen.
Here you go. See?
A lot of trouble. Karen's like, boom. It is true. And it's one of the humorous times. And trust me, I got my rear end lit up like a Christmas tree, but it was worth it. I can't believe I just said that. But it was worth it.
They are. I know. Mine too.
Let me tell y'all, I'll give you the scenario. I know we're like 5 minutes in, but we used to go to church at Barnes Church, which is a historical church here in Virginia, for its past. So it was a Sunday, of course. We went back to Aunt Betty's farm. We still had our Sunday best on.
Uh-oh. You got a whipping. You're
Oh,
supposed to take those off, including school clothes. They come off as soon as you come through the door.
we were supposed to leave, but
This
the
is the
power,
70s.
my father has the power of gab, just like I have gotten from him.
And Grandpa.
So, exactly. So they were all talking, and Kenny and I and Bobby and Barbara decided to take a little trip down to the bottom while everybody was still talking, like, hey, we still got time. And then we all just decided to go after the piglets, come back, and yeah, it was a bad day, but it was so fun. It was so fun, but it was so bad.
And that's probably what gave you such great skin.
Could be. I'm not going to deny that at all.
Oh, that's so cute. But look at how it turned out to be one anyways. So,
You
and
know, I have always wondered up to 7 years ago when I started with this. When I first received the first one, it was this one. This is the original. This is the original. And it used to be all brown. And then my personality was placed into it, just like the others. Bacon yum.
that's right.
Um, and the other hats have a little bit of different personalities about them. This is true. But I was never a hat wearer before I went into the military academy. Um, and then once I came out, I still didn't wear a lot of hats, but only in the last 10 years have I started wearing custom hats. I don't like baseball hats. No.
That was only one. That was a memory. But he's
Right.
been going through all of your hats.
But you
There's
know
at
what?
least 6.
Rhonda will tell you I can wear a pirate's hat in a heartbeat. But it is intriguing, and I love that fact, and that's a bit of me now. This showing my gentlemanship. This helps me in that decision path and my persona and who I am of what direction to go, and always remain that center.
And look at how he brought the hat up.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
All in a circle. So you got it. It's still there. And it's energy. So
energy.
energy. I know. There's something about something turquoise and blue coming your way. So I don't know if it's in front of you. But it's going to be turquoise blue.
Huh.
Intriguing.
Yes, it's very intriguing, and it has. So the person that's carrying the papers are going to have a turquoise blue on them. That's very. Look at you're waiting for some papers.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
All good stuff. All good stuff. Okay.
Wow. There you go. Bravo.
Yeah. There you go.
I guess I just needed a spiritual swift. I didn't want that tonight. I wasn't with me. That was me.
Yeah,
But
sometimes it's not what you want; it's what you need.
Yeah.
It comes when it needs to be, and it comes when they can.
Mhm. Good point. Green. Hey, maybe I'm getting my walking papers.
Well, blue green, they're going to be wearing. I just know you're waiting for your papers.
I am. There's a big situation that I'm handling, and there's a lot going on. Yeah.
You're going to have a smile on your face when you get them.
You are the second. Then who's the first?
I didn't. No, I said you will have a smile when you get them,
Oh, I know.
not a second one.
No, Susan said you are the second. I'm like, where's
Oh,
I'm not sure, but I'll go with it. Hey, rock
oh,
on.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm so old. I can't even read that stuff that's coming up.
That's so bad. That's why I got these.
I do too, but I need to increase my power. It's tiny. I'm on my cell phone, so um, I'm in San Antonio. But this has been awesome. I hope that we answered, or at least made people go, hmm.
Mhm.
And when you come back, we'll do
I
it
would
again.
love that.
Yay.
We're going
Yes,
to continue the straight talk with Katrina Cooper right
I
here.
love that.
This is
Thank you.
this is why I love this. We open up and we can talk and communicate. You don't have to be on one of those shows that all you're doing is doing readings. You can be yourself. That's what we
Thank
want.
you. Thank you. But I am myself. Look at how it came through. It always does. Behind grocery store, bathroom. The message gets out when it needs to be. Rhonda knows that.
Yep.
And one of the things, I'm not part of your world. Rhonda is a part of your world. So taking it from someone that doesn't know you, it's going to make a little bit more meaning. If that makes a little sense, maybe a little bit more impact, not because it's different, not because of someone could see or whatever. I think it came in at the right time, and it's fresh. It's something that's fresh, because we can all get stale. You know what it means? It seems like
Yes.
we're always looking for a sign, or we get to the point where we're not looking for them. They get stale. So you're in a stale mode. That's all it is. And
You know what? It's doing it again. Here it is. And before we get off, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it again. In the last year, I've been like one step ahead of a reading or a vision. Because last week, you're right. I was stale. I didn't care. I was like, I could walk away from this. I could walk away from that. But I started getting my creative juices. Friends came to me that were needing going, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's the matter with you? And I'm like, oh, good. And got the crank in the head going, the old crank from the old Model A's.
yes, it's a tap in the head saying, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So
Hey,
you're
so,
listening.
yeah, it's just interesting. It's been that way for a year, just a little bit ahead of every reading. And I love that you said that, because you just gave me confirmation of what I've been seeing.
That's
Whoa,
right.
But
It's
also,
about
just a reminder
unity.
too, you're on the right track.
That's right.
I like that.
Wait a minute. She turned her head. Are you guys in the same room?
No.
Nope.
Oh, you turned your head like, when you watched, was it the Brady Bunch? And when there's a story, and you, I thought maybe you guys were in the same room or
Nope.
something.
Nope.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
Actually, I think we're in different cities right now, aren't we, Howie?
Yes, we
How
are.
are you? Hi, Howie.
Here's a
That's
story
crazy.
about some
I
spiritual
just had
family.
that was funny.
Howie.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope that they found the subject as interesting as I do. I think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Absolutely.
all energy. And if you're worried about from now to October the 4th, I think the key is to know it's an energy shift, but know that it's up to you what you do with that energy shift.
I
Exactly.
agree. Harness it.
Agreed. Tune in tomorrow night to a special 2 hour with both mysteries behind the scenes and Otter's Den. Tuesday night with Susan and Raven's Flock. And then join me at 11 o'clock in the morning for What's Going Down. We'll talk some modern news, science, psychology, and sociology. And then let's see what happens after that. It's going to be a great time. Catch Rhonda on both here, as you do, and go catch her now. Just a few minutes, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not on the freaking awesome paranormal show tonight.
Oh, but
I
you're
am
on.
recuperating. I did not stop in paranormal investigating until 5 this morning. So
Oh, it's not for your.
Wow.
Rhonda's taking a nap. Rhonda's going to bed.
All right. I'm right behind you. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, travelers and forever friends. Thank you so much for being here, and catch us next time right here on Straight Talk with Katrina Cooper. We'll see y'all on the other
Bye,
side.
guys. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.